My. God has made it possible one more time. This is Wonderful Wednesday. I'm excited because our show tonight going to focus on mental health. Our host with the most will be joining us in a minute. I am Dr. Lorenzo D. Smith, and you're listening to WBSW Radio, the number one internet station. Our title tonight's show is Mental Health Matters, but we're going to focus on men and women. And the show is Tell the Truth Prime Time. And the host with the most, we'll be introducing her in a minute. It is Lisa Levine. Let's move forward to get our promo out the way, get our early information, our beginning out the way. WBSW Radio, the number one internet station. We air it on Wednesday, the first and third Wednesday. And Tell the Truth Prime Time focus on today's life challenges. Our chat line, so you can be a part of the show, is 347-857-4192. Press 1, and I'll make sure I get you on the line by identifying the last 4 digits of your cell. Ask for your location, and you can chat with the host with the most, Lisa Levine, and the co-host producer, myself, Dr. Lorenzo D. Smith. Our web link is available as well. If you just want to hear this show, you can go to www.blogtalkradio.com/WBSW Internet Talk Radio. You can tweet the show at Lisa Farrell 24, as well as Zeta Phi Sigma. We're partnering with the Brothers of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated, Zeta Phi Sigma _10, and Lorenza D. Smith 15. Our live broadcast tonight will be on 5 different devices. We have TikTok, Big O Live, Facebook, and you can go to Dr. L. D'Alberto Smith. And also on Facebook, if you're friends with Lisa Farrell, you can get it as well on that station or that network. Instagram, Zeta Phi Sigma, the chapter of the Brothers of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated, have partners. We're partners with them. That's Z Squad Greenbow 1981. And on YouTube, we want you to subscribe. We got the Super Chat open today, so we want you to go and subscribe first. Check us out. And you can go to the Smithway Enterprises 5018. So you can join us and be a part of this. And we thank you for your support as of today. We was excited because on the 27th of September, over 7 years, we've been able to broadcast, to be in existence, starting from 1 show to now 19 shows, with over 30 to 40 staff members, including volunteer hosts and co-hosts, guests that comes on. So we're really excited about being blessed to be here today. So we don't do what we do best. That means we're going to make it do what it do. We're also excited because WBSW Radio, the number one internet station, has listeners and watchers in 45 countries and on 6 continents. So we're enjoying all over the world, and we really appreciate you taking time to be here. And if you would, in the comment section, type your location, meaning type in the city or the state that you're located, or the country. Type it in so we can make sure we give you a shout out. You also help with our data. We'll be able to keep it where we're being heard all over the world as well as all over the United States. We also want to share with you that you can register for WBSW radio giveaways by sending your name and a means of transaction. There are four means of transaction we ask you to send along with your name: Cash App, or PayPal, or Venmo, or Zelle. And that's Lorenza D. Smith 15 at gmail.com. Now you ask your question, why do I need to send my name with a means of transaction? We do raffle. Just recently for our anniversary celebration, we gave away 5 book bags. We raffled off 5 book bags full of supplies. If you were the winners, we had 5 winners to take in, and we appreciate them for registering. Then we gave away 4 gift cards, and we thank those individuals who also joined us and won those gift cards. Varies from different eateries, basically at $15. That's how much the gift card was. We gave away 3 of our books, and we're going to give away more. We're going to raffle these books off. Our author that was on our show left with us, so we can give to you. Also, we want you to know that we have car washes vouchers, food voucher, gas vouchers, mention gift cards. We also want to make sure you understand the hotel stay. We'll pay for a hotel stay if you win the raffle. It varies from 3 nights, 4 days, 5 nights, 6 days. So you put your name in and we'll raffle it off. And next week is when we're going to kind of kick off. At least the last week of the month we will be doing it. I know next week is not. Next week is just the beginning, because next week is truly a good week. This month, I'll tell you, shout out to myself. This is my birthday month. Next week my birthday will be, and I'm excited about being blessed to see so far another year. God is so good. He has blessed things, and I thank him for doing that, because the vision, he's keeping me above ground so I can do the vision that he placed in my plan of life. So what we want you to make sure you understand is you need to register. We're going to do approximately 3 night, 4 day hotel stay. We're going to pay for the hotel internationally, or it might be domestic. We'll pay for a hotel, luxury hotel. Now, we're not going to send you to you'll have a choice anyway, because when you go on, if you win and you make sure you activate the voucher, then it'll give you a choice where you want to stay. Now, you have to pay the activation fee, the tax that goes along, and along with your amenities and your travel there. So we're going to be wrapping off 3 nights, 4 days, varies from $900, in some cases $1,800, well, internationally. So we're really excited. We're going to pay for that. Also, we have 5 nights or 6 days. We're going to have at least one set 5 nights and 6 days internationally as well as domestic. So we want to give back to you. So we ask you to send a like up, buy a star, buy a badge, in essence, purchase simply a rose. Do something, but send the likes up, because we like to see as many likes as possible, or hearts, or flower, or carnation. Send them up. I see 1 star is up already. Thank you so much for making the effort to purchase a star. We're going to give a shout out to some individuals that are joining us in a minute, but what we want to do is to share with you that you sow a seed of $1 with WBSW radio station at Cash App $LORENZAD, as in David, SMITH, or you can go to PayPal if you have a PayPal account, and you can send it Lorenza D. Smith 15 at gmail.com. So we're excited because today's show is Mental Health Matter. And this is one of the biggest challenges that we take for granted, our mental health. It's one of those well-beings that we need to be well in. As soon as our host join us, we'll let her kind of lead the flight. But as long as I'm here, I have to fill in. So you have to jump in and back and keep it going. So mental health matters. And we have to truly take an opportunity to think about how well is our mental health. We talk about the well-beings of life where you can function at a high level. You know, your physical well-being, your mentally well-being, your emotionally well-being, your spiritual well-being, and your financial well-being. Nathan, you also add what we call the social well-being along with the psychological well-being. Those are important for us to face life challenges. We're not guaranteed that everything we face in life will be able to conquer. But mentally, we have to have the right frame of mind. It's amazing. I was speaking to one of my middle daughter today, and I was talking to her, and she just purchased a car. And she was talking about, ooh, it's tough being an adult. I say, yeah, it's tough, but you know what? If you have the mindset of putting together a plan of action so you can deal with the challenges of finance. You can deal with the challenges of the mental aspect. You can deal with the challenges of the physical aspect. You can deal with the challenges of the emotional aspect. You can deal with the social challenges, the psychological challenge. You must have a plan of action. So when we're talking about mental health, you need to have a plan of action. Sometime in our community, and speaking specifically about the Black community, we have a stigma against anybody who goes see a counselor or go see a therapist or a psychiatrist. First thing we say, something got to be wrong with you. The truth of the matter is nothing wrong with me because I'm seeking the help. It's something wrong with you because you won't seek help. See, that stigma keeps you from being the best version of yourself. Everyone who seeks the mental support going to do much better than the people who think some other ways can get you there. Your mental health is important. Not only does it's important, it matters. So the show's going to focus on that tonight. Like I said, as soon as the host with the most join us, I know there's been some situations I know she's dealing with, but she's going to do her best to join us. Now we're going to keep this rolling. We're going to make it do what it do. Let me give a shout out to a couple people who's joining us. Irvin Joyce Whitfield. Thank you so much, Irving Joyce Whitfield, for joining us. We have Marvelous 139. We have John joining us. We also have David Brewer joining us. We have LeGrant Clark joining us. Asters, thank you. We have Chop just jumped in here. Thank you, Chop. Got a couple of people I'm going to say hi to because they already been on here waiting to get, let me recognize them. I appreciate you doing that. You also have, this is Lucinda. Thank you so much. We have Blue in Knock, it says Blue in No CEO. Thank you. JJ, thank you for taking time. Daughter underscore Yah. Thank you so much. Shawnee, 1920, a member of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated. Sora, thank you for joining us. We also have SEB joining us. Thank you so much. As well as I appreciate your message, but we try not to be in the political aspects of it on this network. We also have Sabrina 10. Thank you so much. Maria, thank you. You have Diego, thank you so much. We're going to give a wave to Kevin, along with Nathan, This is Jenga. Thank you so much. M Hooker. Thank you so much. OMG Latoya. Thank you. We got a user joining us. It's CPG. Thank you so much. For Lydia, thank you for taking time to be here. We also have a couple other individuals. Heather Foster, thank you so much for joining us. We also have Ian, thank you so much for taking time. Azima, thank you. Uh, that Thaddeus, thank you so much. Those individuals slowly joining us on that network. As we move forth, I can see our host with the most is joining us. And we want to make sure we introduce her. And after I give the introduction, the next voice that you will hear is our host with the most. This young lady comes to us from as far as the northern point you can go of I-71 to the great state of Ohio and to the Great Lake area, none known to many as Cleveland, Ohio, where the dog pound is in the play. And also, she have decided the last been down south about 20 plus years. We want to give a shout out to her. She's a licensed clinical social worker, has her own business. And at this point, I understand there's 2 or 3 business. So we're going to give her a shout out for working and grinding hard. She's located in the southern peninsula of the great state of Florida. None other than the host with the most. She always said, "We got this." The next voice you hear is Lisa, the host with the most, Levine, coming to you from the great state of Florida. How you doing, Lisa?
I'm good, Dr. Lowe. How are you? I missed you.
Oh, miss you too. I said that I know you had.
Miss you a lot.
I know you've been having some challenges. I said I got to talk to her. I see. I can't let her be going through these challenges without me not knowing about it. So I had to do the point. I said, well, let me get on the show. Hey, let me get on the show. He's plotting, he's plotting to make sure we have to check up and make sure we, each other is in order. But Lisa, we want to kind of get our show kind of move forth. This is our mental health matter. And I know we have talked about it from time to time, but I just believe we can never over talk or overstate mental health and how important that there's some wellness when we're dealing with our mental health. And we want to talk about the ways to address it, the support you can get. Just talking about it allows you the opportunity to grow. And you can share your thoughts on that, Lisa.
I don't know. Where do we begin? Right now, if you're not in therapy, you need to be in therapy. There's a lot going on in the world. Too much going on in the world. And I think I know we have a shortage down here, and I know California has one, but we can't stress enough the importance of taking care of yourself and why, especially in men, because we know women need it, we know kids need it, we know, but with men it's different, I think, Dr. Lowe.
Yes.
Especially in the minority community, because it's very taboo and, it's kind of frowned upon. And I think it's something we really need to promote. And I actually want to talk with you about that, just doing more, getting more promoting out there to encourage people. I have some things in the work I haven't had a chance to talk to you about yet. But taking care of yourself, self-care, making sure you have a support system, even if it's one person, two people, whatever, whoever it is. Make sure you're not going to your friends for advice always. I don't think that's always the right. Your friends are not mental health clinicians, and I don't mean that in a bad way at all. But it's very important that you have somebody to talk to and to process things and work through things and feel validated. That's one thing I've been hearing lately is a lack of validation.
Okay, good.
People don't feel validated or heard, and some people don't even know their services out there. They don't know that a therapist is a non-judgmental person, or supposed to be, and that person is there, that's your person, right?
Right.
So I just really, really feel strongly, and I push it on, and I mean, me, myself, with everything that's been going on, Miss Lisa has taken it upon herself to make sure she has somebody to talk to. And it is helpful. And it's helpful just to have someone to be able to throw things off on and just to hear you out.
Exactly.
We all need that. And I just, like I said, processing, finding coping skills, learning new coping skills, finding ways to overcome psyche in your life or in your situation.
Exactly.
Because we're all going through something right now, Dr. Lowe, every single one of us. And I think this past week, a couple weeks, has been very, very stressful on people in general, and there's a lot of fear going around. And if you are in with someone, make sure you stay in with someone. Don't get off somebody's schedule, because you might not be able to get back in. And really, really, look within to see what can I do to help myself. And if you don't know, just ask questions. Ask questions about how you go about getting help, and don't be ashamed about it. I work with a lot of men now. That's the majority. That's my passion now. I work in the Black community mainly. They work with males. I enjoy it. It's a different type of therapy, actually. Mm-hmm. I was telling someone that earlier, that it's totally different. And women, we cry, and men cry sometimes not, but it's okay to cry. Crying is a relief, right?
Right.
I just think we really all need to right now take a step back too with our emotions, because I think people are very emotional and they're saying things that they might not mean. I keep telling my clients, keep your space clean. Don't be around people that might bring a lot of negativity into your space. This is a very huge shift going through right now. So I think that's important. And can I throw something in really quick, Dr. Lowe?
Yes.
That's unrelated, sort of, but one of our biggest supporters, Stuart Curlin, passed away in a heart attack, and he was a supporter of you and I and of my yoga program, and I just wanted to thank you for always being here and supporting us and promoting things and promoting mental health. And thanks him for raising a lot of money in the Parkinson's community and other communities. So I just wanted to, I should have said that at the beginning, because I had wanted to mention that.
I tell you,
he always enjoyed listening to us.
And I really appreciate that. And our prayers is for the family, as well as for everyone who's been in contact with him. His prayers for us as well, because he was a very important part, because he's always on jumping on. He's always jumping on, typing in.
He's always jumping on.
Yes. So we're really going to miss that individual, but we know that he's going to be looking down and just saying, I had a chance to be there and support them, and we really appreciate everything, especially to the family and individuals that personally knew uh, one of our favorite listeners. So we truly thank Lisa for sharing that with us because we needed to know that. Uh, uh, Also, Lisa just shared a couple.
He promoted mental health, guys, too.
Yes.
He's promoted mental health.
Yeah, because I remember the day we was getting a lot of feedback, and he was giving a lot of feedback. So truly, thank you so much to that family. Thank you. If you're listening, thank you so much. As we move forward, Lisa, I want to kind of touch on something you were sharing because I thought it was important. You know, we consistently hear about the stigma in the Black community, but just the stigma that is around men. See, it's something about that area because we didn't focus on that. If you're having challenges mentally, it affects your physical well-being as well. It'll leads
Yeah.
a lot of times to people committing suicide. It affects your relationship. See,
Yeah.
mental health has a lot to go on. It ties in them well-being. I always say that those well-beings, I always call out five. There's seven. A lot of times we can focus on. If you are emotionally challenged, it affects your health. If you're mentally challenged, it affects your health. If you physically challenged, it's going to affect your mental health, your emotional health, your spiritual health, your financial health. So it's important that we understand that we address the issue. It does matter, and that's the title of today's show. Mental health matter, and we can no longer put our heads in the sand and think it's going to be all right, because it's not going to get any better until we address the issues. We may have to address it as a whole in our community. In our and what's our thing about we do on Monday nights, block by block, home by home. You have to do it in your community. You have to do it in your family. You have to be the advocate for the best mental health of your family. Whether you consider to be the one that's a leader or whoever it is, someone has to speak up and say we must address these issues within our own family. And it's truly an opportunity for all us to be successful. It's just, you got so much when you address mental health, your potential for being the best you can be with your full potential come into play. There's a lot goes along with it. So it's very important that we understand how mental health plays a role in our everyday life, because we need to be able to just put our thumbs on it and then go to work to make sure we're successful. Lisa.
Do you want me to jump in?
Yeah, jump in.
What else?
Yeah. Yes. Let's jump into our next one, which is I think it was in regard about how important about children mental health. Which, yeah, and I thought that was one I thought we should kind of look in. I know there's some other things about mental health importance in today's world, but just want to talk about our children mental health. Yes.
Children.
Yes.
What I'm observing is very high anxiety. And I'm not teaching as much right now. I'm kind of doing some revamping of things. But what I am seeing and hearing, the anxiety levels are extremely high. Kids are depressed. They're still behind in school. I don't know when we're going to wake up and say they're behind and we have to be where we're at. Right? Does that make sense?
Yes.
But the kids are like suffering, and I don't think we're helping them in the way that we should be. Does that make sense? Like, I feel like it's out there, and one of the biggest problems I think we're seeing, we have a shortage of mental health professionals and psychiatrists with children.
Mm-hmm.
It's a huge problem on the social skills, emotional regulation. How do we self-regulate? How do we self-express? Kids are pretty much learning on computers right now, right?
Yep. Right.
They don't know how to write a lot of them. I mean, I'm at a private school where I'm at. Those kids, those 4-year-olds know how to write their name. They know how to like read a book. Like it's amazing. You know, you can see differences. And even my friend who runs this microschooling, you can see the differences with that, with microschooling, because you could be in person. My friend Joy mentioned in his comment, that I could provide her information, but they come with a different approach, and it's meeting kids' needs, individual in group settings, getting kids in enrichment, but the socialization is not good at all. And we have to figure out how we can help with anxiety, depression, young kids being depressed. Eating disorders are very common now in kids. You know, it's been around. I think it's become more common, and I think there's eating issues related to anxiety, which is a huge problem. Because I know when I'm anxious, I can't eat. So imagine a little kid, like I can't eat my lunch, my tummy hurts, I'm nervous, I have a test. Not feeling included. Behavioral issues, sleep issues.
Yes.
I mean, these are like all things coming out. Separation anxiety, because some kids were at home doing schooling and then they had to go back into, right? Like they had to go back into the school setting. And I'm looking even at the differences in young kids, you know, middle school, high school, and then college. Like there's such a disruption.
Yep.
I mean, some of the college kids that I know of, they don't even want to go out. And I'm like, it would be good to go out, but they got used to like being at home and not engaging.
Exactly.
And it's a problem. These things I just listed are just a few things. Lack of impulse control. That's another one too. Anger issues. Not knowing how to deal with frustration and anger. And I think a lot of things are falling on the teachers, which we've talked about that. But the biggest thing is how do we work with these kids? I mean, mindfulness is a huge coping. It's a huge tool to use. I teach it with my guys. Mindfulness, present moment, validation of feelings. Like kids need cues. That's what part of the problems are.
Exactly.
You sometimes have to cue a kid, and you have to engage them. Redirect the behavior. You know me, I won't remove kids from a class. There's a reason for it. They don't know how to use their words. So kids that don't know how to use their words, they're going to act out.
Exactly.
Adults think the same way.
Yes.
Same thing with adults.
Yep. Yes. I noticed that.
I noticed that myself.
And it's amazing when we're talking and communicating, and we around individuals who are struggling to be able to even kind of put their thoughts together, and be able to exchange a normal conversation. We have some things we need to put in the right place, especially through our educational opportunities and through our family. I want to go back to something you said about individuals at the school you are now located at, and the individuals you're working with, saying those students in the third or fourth grade are definitely read at their level. And that's one of the things that, for example, in the state of Alabama, Department of Education, the state board put into existence, and it's occurring this year in 2024-25, that a student in the third grade must be able to read at third grade level. And if not, they could not move to the fourth grade they can. I really thought they were saying put them in a bridge level so they can bridge themselves to that fourth grade level. I think it's so important to remember something because I shared this in a show recently, and was that talking about it was dealing with our show on the Dr. Lowe's neighborhood about building boys to be impactful men. And we was talking about education, and they said your most success with a child comes in between the time birth and 8 years old. Now think about that now. Birth and 8 years old, meaning great. So if they are exposed to these things from birth up until third grade, they'll be able to comprehend, be able to read, do what we ask them to do. Because reading is not just standing up reading. It requires your critical thinking, your vocabulary, sentence
Yeah.
structure.
Yeah.
It requires much more than that. But they can get that when we have time to go from birth to 8 years old. So it's important that we continue to kind of focus on preparing our, but we was focusing also on mental health. At least I want to kind of share this because I think some people kind of believe that this is not true. See, a child's mental health can be impacted by parental mental health.
Absolutely.
I want y'all to just kind of think that and regurgitate that down. A child's mental health can be impacted by parental mental health, saying their parents who has their own mental health challenges makes it becomes more difficult for them to provide the care for the children. Just remember, from birth to 8 years, some powerful years. But if you operating in a mind of chaos, because when you're talking about that's chaos, and you can't deal with things, your children experiencing that too. But children be around normal when you don't get any kind of support through counseling, through therapy, or a psychiatrist. See, children begin to pick it up because they learn during those years. If they see chaotic situations at home, if they see chaotic situations when parents or two adults getting along with each other, that leads them to understand. It shapes them for the future. So what we want to make sure our children, once we can identify how important, see, we got to set it in our mind how important mental health is for our children. I don't think we think, okay, you'll grow out of it. And a lot of times growing out of it doesn't work. It continues to grow to the point where when they become adults, they still have the challenges. It's time for us to recognize that our children need to have us supporting them, putting them in a situation where they can be able to live, learn, and play in a positive environment. Because if they can live, learn, and play. Go ahead on, Lisa. Go ahead on.
An issue I have, and I have such a solution, but it'll never happen. Okay, school shooters, and I profile. I can walk in a room and I can tell you which kids got what's going on, but school shooters, there are warning signs, and they are being overlooked. And you are doing no justice to your child by looking the other way. And they all have the same, lack of social skills, isolation, video game addicts. They bully, they offended, they're like different. They hurt animals.
Yes.
There's so many warning signs, and then we find out that the parents just saw one in Georgia.
Exactly.
What to do on in your house?
That's right.
And I sat there like, this has to stop. And they're
Exactly.
all white males, mainly between the ages of 18 to 25. But you know what, Dr. Lowe? They start off with what? Oppositional defiance,
Yep.
conduct, antisocial disorder,
Yes.
antisocial personality disorder. So, with what? And I said this, and I say it like from the very stage that you need to put in mental health institutions. These kids cannot be in a full setting around other kids. You can't put them in a 90-day program either. What good does that do?
Okay.
You know, this is being overlooked. It's a serious issue. And I get worked up about it. Okay, you hit a panic button. So you're locking everybody in the school with the shooter. What that is, it makes no sense. You're wasting millions of dollars, and I don't mean that offensively, but that can't be fixed. Those particular issues, that particular population, yes, could they have not connected with their parents? Because, you know, they say 0 to 5, your personality develops.
Exactly.
And if you're not connected with that parent or any caregiver, that's when these things start coming out. So I have an issue with that. You don't look the other way. You look straight ahead at the problem because these things can be avoided.
Exactly.
And I think it's great with the metal detectors. I have no issue with them. I go to a football game or wherever, a baseball game, and I have to go. It's not a big deal.
Yes.
It's safety.
And you're right. And we need to continue to stress that our young people, especially if we're able to identify these behaviors early. And most of the time you see these individual parents have identified it, but they're almost themselves afraid to say something about it until after something that's been tragic occurred. And what we need to make sure we can accept the reality that our children, you know, growing up in our homes, but they also what we do. Like I said previously, see, children's mental health can be impacted by parents or parental mental health. See, the way their parents are affects them a whole lot. And we have so many situations, especially with the way children are being raised today. A lot of them being raised by YouTube. They're raised by Big O Live, Facebook, Snapchat. They're raised by each one of those social media sites. TikTok. See, they're raised by those social media sites.
The parents are addicted to it, Dr. Lowe.
And you know what? We always talk about the children, but I'd be amazed because I use 6 different sites to broadcast. But I also have to go on those sites to check and see where I am. But the amazing things I see for supposed to be mature adults, they're on there more than our ones that just left their adolescence and move into early adulthood. You have ones that are, in their middle age. Can I say middle age? I was saying that years of fruitfulness. How about that? They should be planting seeds of success. Instead, they're the one want to be seen. And it's so amazing.
Right.
And I'll be like, okay, wow. Cheeks up here, cheeks up there. I'm saying, oh my God. And then you look around there, oh, I get my 51st birthday. Okay, you grandma age. You need to be grandma. And try to do the same. But those are some of the things that we want to kind of be able to focus on tonight. I want to move toward, because I'm going to kind of mesh this in here, men's mental health matters. And I'm put that in because myself, when I saw that I needed to get and find the best version of me, I definitely decided to seek the support through counseling, a therapist, because I wanted to be the best version of me. No matter all of the success or the failures I had in my life, I still felt like I want to be the best version of me. So, me and mental health matter. And Lisa, I know that's one of the places she strongly focused on, because we really need to be able to say, let's address this. We have to ask ourselves, how can we address this? But you have to, I always say the best way to address something, Lisa, is just speak it. And people understand, nodding your head and shaking your head. But if you speak something, you heard this into existence, it will help you grow, and it help your mental aspects, because you'll have a chance to kind of speak it out. You know what impacts you. And when we were talking about men, being taught for years to man up, you're not supposed to cry.
Yeah.
You don't be picking up those certain things to play with. But we never taught them to know who you are. You can function when you know who you are and whose you are. Know what you want. Know what you need. See, you have to speak this and then put the work in to make sure you're successful. So I truly believe that we can address issues even before they get to the point that we say is out of hand.
Right.
But we must be willing to speak it. I have a challenge, and I have some challenges that overwhelm me. So I want to seek the support to help me so I can be the best version of myself. And I'll speak to every man and tell them right now, I want you to say this. I want to be the best version of me. Nobody knows that but God. You say that, and that means that I must address my emotional intelligence. I must address my mental capacity. I must address my physical health. I must address my spiritual health. I must address my financial health. These things, as well-beings, I have to speak it so I can be able to address them. See, when you look in the mirror and you want to say, "How no, I look real nice," speak it into existence, because you said it in the mirror. That's how life is all about. So mental health matter. And I know everybody say, "Well, you're talking about men. Why are you not talking about women?" I think Lisa kind of put a little bit a cap on it when she said a lot of time women, they're gonna seek the help they need to seek. They're gonna be able to, okay, I got a problem, I want to challenge. Where men say, I can't do that because everybody's gonna look at me like something wrong with me. Yes, it is something wrong with you because you're not doing anything about it. You have to do something about it.
Here's another thing too. I noticed, like with men or men I work with, they want help.
Mm-hmm.
The approach I have is, I'm not a conventional therapist, but I noticed with women, women like want this quick fix. And if you're not giving them this quick fix, well, I'm just going to blow you off and not come back in. And my guys, they don't do that. You know what I mean? And I just evolved and developed as a therapist, and I'm learning a lot about men. And I kind of see, just say this, I kind of see why women always say it's men's fault. It's really not. And a lot of guys are sensitive. A lot of guys don't know how to express. They don't know that it's okay to express. And I notice it's like, because I create a very safe, private place, like You want to cry? You want to yell? You need me? You text me. You need me in the middle of the day? You text me. You need me in the middle of the night? If I'm awake, I'll answer. I created that because, a lot of times they don't know what to do in the moment, I'm noticing. But women want these quick fixes. And I'm like, I know for myself, I'm like you, I'm on a journey. I'm evolving. I thought over the trauma of
Mhm.
and I'm thinking when I saw what happened at Tyreek Hill, I went back to my accident. Like it was not a positive thing for me. I will not watch that video ever again. But it triggered me, and I'm sharing that with everyone because I do have the tools. And I say, you know what? He's safe. He's okay. He got back into the car. He got to the game. He played in the game. He kind of made a joke about it, even though it really wasn't funny. But I mean, I think he was trying to handle it in his own way. But it kind of triggered me and took me back. But I'm well enough aware to know, hey, I do need to talk to somebody, or I need to talk to one of my therapist colleagues, or I try to keep it separate now. Even with some of my friends, I'm trying to encourage, get someone to talk to. But with the men, they want that outlet.
Yep.
Sometimes it takes a little bit of time. Sometimes I get a guy and boom, everything comes out. It's like they're holding it. Sometimes I just sit and listen and I'm supported. And I think where women, where they're time, you gotta support somebody. Like if a guy loses his job, you're gonna lost your job. Where's the money? Now I have to. Well, he was taking care of you. Why can't you be supportive and take care of him?
Come on now.
Think about that.
Okay, now. All right.
Supportive.
Okay, Lisa. All right. Thank you so much for saying that. No, don't be sorry. Don't be sorry. Don't be sorry because it has to be said. It's easy to get rid of someone because they, and I'm gonna tell you these not to cut you off right here. I always say it's amazing. This is just me speaking from my own experience. It's amazing I can do all the things that a person want me to do or I choose to do. But the one time I said no, I'm not gonna do it, all hell break loose. But you forgot about maybe 10 years of doing it, and only that one time that everybody lose their mind. And I'm just saying, unfortunately, the word of no, and no hurts people so bad. But what we need to keep in mind is that if someone has been committed to providing and protecting you in a hit tough time, don't try to put the person down. What you try to do is be there to lift them up because they was there. They was there to lift you up. And too many times people get caught, sorry. I always have the negative side, and and that's why a lot of time our men especially shy away from going to get any kind of care in the mental aspects of it because they are afraid that you're going to look down on them, and they the stigma is already deep. Because see, once we experience something that time stamps on the brain, it just takes one little thing to trigger us. So we need to make sure we address men's mental health with a holistic approach. So we have to consider, and this is something that some people say, well, you're supposed to be speaking. See, we have to consider that people deal with complex interplay, especially dealing with gender dynamic. And that's a mouthful now. Complex interplay of gender dynamics. And I want everybody to think about that. What are they talking about? Get up.
Or
Complex interplay of gender dynamics. And that simply goes back to what I was saying, and I'm gonna just give some of you a cue. Man up. See, it's complex. You're told to man up. You're told you're not supposed to cry. For you, it becomes complex because it's always identified with a certain gender.
right.
I want you to think about it. That's where we're heading. This is WBSW Radio, the number one internet station, and you are listening to Tell the Truth Prime Time with the host with the most, Lisa Levine, and I serve as a co-host and producer. I'm Dr. Lorenzo D. Smith, and we're talking about mental health matter. And I always want to make sure we take a little time and just focus on ourselves. This could be therapy for me. This could be therapy for Lisa. What is your therapy setting? How do you address your mental health? Take time for yourself to address your mental health. And if you need support,
To add to that, Dr.
yes, please do.
Yeah, to add to that, if something or somebody is unhealthy, and why I was kind of going off on my little tangent, if you are in an environment that's not healthy and it's negative and people aren't talking, that's not a good space to be in.
Yes,
That does not help you, and that leads ties in with what you were saying and what a lot of men have low self-esteem when things don't go right, or
mhm,
maybe they got demoted at work, maybe they lose
Yeah.
their job, maybe they're suffering from something they don't know what it is, and
Exactly.
it's like, a humiliation, and be supported. You're right what you're saying. I agree with you 500%.
take it. I'll take the 500.
Care of you.
Take care of you, and that's one thing we want us to make sure we focus. We're talking about mental health matter. When I say us, it's all of us. See, we all can be put in a melting pot, and everybody wants to get something out of us. You have to put yourself where you need to be the best version of yourself. I want you to just simply say, I'm going to do whatever it takes to help me be mentally well so I can be the best version of myself. And you have to be, one word, at least I'm going to say, intentional. See, when you're intentional about doing better, being better, you'll get the job done. Be intentional. Be the best version of yourself and get the greatest outcome. And it needs to be favorable. These are simple things when we're talking about with our mental health. Be able to identify, because we know what's not, we know when things are going wrong with us. We know that. No matter how much we put on a veil, just like one of the supporters of the show, co-hosts on here, that ministry is behind the mask ministry. And that's Minister Denise Stephanie out of Berkeley, California. And all about the mask. What mask do you have on? Men, women, children. What mask that you have on? Are you able to identify the mask? Because what's behind the mask is just like the curtain in Oz. You don't know what's there until you check it out and see. You got to move the curtain, move the mask. Lisa.
Well, that's my word now.
Yeah.
Now, I think we all wear a mask, or a different mask, or we put on a facade, right?
Yes. Yep.
A facade. Like, I know when I'm much better than I think they kind of figured. My biggest problem was injury, and now we know it's my thought line. Everything else has been cleared. I have PRP. But I'll tell you, mentally, like if people are like, oh, smiling, or you're, and I'm like, well, I have to. That's, but I'm in pain, and I think people sometimes have to, what did they say, fake it till you make it?
Yeah, fake it till you make it. There you go.
Yeah, fake it. And I see that with athletes too.
Mm-hmm.
History, mental health issues that are untreated, and it's like you don't you don't know what's going on with somebody. You're not in their body. You're not in their home. Like, we don't always know, and with anybody in general, what's going on with them. And I guess I realized when Stu died, I didn't know about it initially. Check on people, make sure they're okay.
Mm-hmm.
Just go and check in with them an emoji. Hey, thinking about you, checking in.
Yes.
Because sometimes people are smiling, but inside, internally, they're not okay.
Nope.
And it's okay to not be okay, but we need to work on being okay and managing. And I've been telling people lately to watch the movie Good Will Hunting. I mean, that's one of my favorite movies. And, it's a very profound movie between the therapist and, Matt Davis plays the patient. And, he had to break through to Matt Davis. You know that character.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of like what it's like with men. And it's interesting. I think a lot of men feel like they can't talk to their spouses or girlfriends, or, I think they feel unheard. It's important to know just because it's a man and maybe he is wearing a mask and he's pretending like everything's okay, and it's really not okay.
Yep, exactly.
And I think right now a lot of people are going through that in general. Like, they might present okay.
Yep.
But I think what's not helping is lack of communication, lack of work ethic, people not showing up for work. It's like mentally exhausting people, and doctors are the medical field and the mental health field are short-staffed. I know down here in California, there's like 3 other states. I don't remember what I researched, but people are getting attacked verbally, physically, fighting, and that affects. And then they have to keep smiling.
Yep.
Like they have to keep it going because, yeah, you're right, masks.
Yep.
How many masks can we possibly wear?
Well, take the one off you have now and truly, truly try to find out who you are. That's what we need to do. We need to make sure we are able to understand that dealing with our mental health, again, it needs to be a holistic approach, meaning we need to include everything in there besides a complex interplay of gender dynamics, social pressures, as well as biological susceptibility. These things are needed to kind of be holistic about it, because we have to break down stigma. Then we have to promote help-seeking behavior. See, that's a word some people ought to think about. Promote help-seeking behavior. You got to understand, when I'm seeking help, that has to be a behavior for me. It has to be, I have to get this done because I can't let no one turn me around. Provide a tailored support service, and we know what it could be to improve men's mental health. For example, is counseling, is therapy, going to see psychological help. You have to get off like they say, get off the porch and go find out what's going on. This is what we're talking about. Mental health matters, and truly it does. Lisa,
There's something else I want to add, Dr. Lowe. Not every man is a narcissist, and it's getting to the point where every time they're gaslighting, they're narcissistic. How are you diagnosing somebody and then self-diagnosing? Because sometimes there isn't. Like, when we for insurance companies, but the bottom line is you're telling them, oh, you're a narcissist, oh, you're a this. How is that productive to anybody when you're accusatory and you're going at somebody? And that creates more anger. But guys, accusing people of things, trying to diagnose people, and I'm going to tell you something else. Facebook and Instagram are not psychologists or therapists. I don't know who these people are that are giving advice. You know, you and I are talking things out.
Yes.
I think
Yes.
like
Yep.
we self-share, and when we're not, you know, saying go do this, go do yeah, we're encouraging you to get help, to learn coping mechanisms, have a good support system, but diagnosing someone or shaming them or name calling them, that doesn't help the situation either.
My.
I
Listen,
think that's important.
let me say this because you just said something. You know, I hear people, he's a narcissist, which is the lack of empathy. That's what people got to realize. See, when
Yeah.
you say something, you need to know what you're talking about. And a person you going to identify as a narcissist, you need to have a diagnosis. You can't self-diagnose someone because they didn't do what you want them to do. But you label. See, I think we're using it as almost a board to kind of beat people down. Just because the person didn't do what you want them to do, or they didn't act the way you want to do, you got mad. That's the first thing that comes out of your mouth. And to know that you, as a person laid, I'm gonna call it laid, average person, you don't have the training to say that, because a person has to be diagnosed with being a narcissist. It is not something just cause that, and it's mainly the lack of empathy. We got to stop this because I hear it all the time. I hear a lot of content creators be talking about it. I'm like, why have you, you know, are you got a training in that to make that diagnosis? Or do you, what do you have? You know, and I always say a lot of times the people we see on these various social media sites that's trying to give professional advice, clinical advice. You know that thing is said clinical, right? Clinical means I have to go through a process, right? I don't just you walk in even one day and say, okay, this is what you are. It's clinical, meaning putting some time to get to know what's going on with that person before you start making it. See, the problem is we want to go to these various social media sites and we're going to make, because we had our choice. I always tell people, your choice determines what your results going to be. If you choose somebody that you already had the red flags, but your way to make you look like you're the victim is he's a narcissist. She's a narcissist. You use that word like it's just everyday occurrence. And I have a real serious problem with that. Remember one thing I tell everybody. Narcissist is a person, first of all, lack empathy. Just remember that now. And you don't understand it, go look it up. But you have to have a diet.
You know, here's the other thing. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know, Dr. Lowe, sometimes, you know, there's that book, The 5 Love Languages, right?
Yeah,
and
okay.
I tell people to, like, I know what mine is. Like, I'm a giver. Like, I'll give this. Like, that's the way of me showing. Some people just aren't affectionate. But
yes.
They show they're not an I love you person. And not everyone's built that way. Yeah. And that's just another problem I think we have. If you don't like that person isn't like, I love you, or, you know, that they're not, that's their personality, that's how they are. It doesn't make them narcissistic, it doesn't make them a bad person. Yep. But we all have love languages.
Exactly.
And, you know, and like I say, if you're judging, and if that's not the right person for you, because you can't change them, that's who they were when you met them. Do people change and grow together? Absolutely.
Exactly.
But I think it's a big problem right now because all I'm hearing is love bombing and gaslight, and I'm like, oh my
Yep.
gosh, like
Yes.
stop psychoanalyzing.
Yeah, that's what they're doing, and
Stop.
it just create problems with individuals
It's
when they
not
do that.
healthy at all.
No, it's not healthy. So, truly, what we need to do is focus on understanding that mental health matters. Whether it's children, it's men, it's women, mental health matters. So, what we need to make sure we focus on being well mentally, and it takes hard work. It takes understanding the dynamics of just operating in this world, dealing with pressures, uh, getting the right, making sure you understand what is help seeking behavior. It's going to allow you to be very successful and address those issues. Lisa, as we get ready to close out, I want to give a shout out to a couple of people. Ms. Bush EBS joining us, a member of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated. We have Audrey, thank you for joining us. We have Deirdre Norman, thank you for joining us. We also have A.W. Reeves, uh, Tiana Lachey, thank you so much. We also have Mika. We have Lakendra Hamilton, Martha Baxter Wood, Mika 2275. We have Terry Joyner. Thank you, Terry, so much. Marvelous 139. We also have a user. We have Spice joining us, as well as grade A is great for a 4-1. That's what it is. See, they put symbols up, and I'm gonna work it out. I want to make sure I find out what they're trying to say. We also have Zeta Queen, 2009. Member of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated. Thank you so much. K.O. Thank you for taking time. Another user. We have so many other individuals joining us. Thank you. Laura Robinson. Then we have Frazier taking time to be here. Thank you so much. Lydia, thank you for taking time to be here. We also have, this is a wiki for Wiki. Thank you so much for joining. Akil's Corner joining us. We mentioned Chop already. This is Sega. Thank you for joining us. No, I'm sorry, Cassie Ellis. Thank you so much. Those individuals. Thank you all. It's been awesome being here tonight. The host with the most has done an awesome job. Thank you so much, Lisa, for coming in. I hope it was therapy for you because it's always therapy for me. So I'm gonna continue to be the best version of
I
myself.
always learn from you. I say you're one of my mentors.
And I do thank you here. Thank you so much for saying that. As being encouraged. It's a pleasure always having a show with you. And we, as soon as we can get our time and we got some things, we got to talk about some things anyway. So we can make sure you kind of be able to get the max out of what we can offer as individuals and professionals. Truly, truly, it's a blessing. I want to thank you so much for each and every one of you all joining us. It was a ball. I had a ball, y'all. And I will tell you, we're going to come on tomorrow. We got an awesome show planned.
I missed you.
Yeah. See, we hadn't done this show in a while. So I just, Lisa as well. Thank you so much, Lisa, for being here. And on tomorrow, we got a show called Happy Hour Lounge. It used to be Happy Hour Talk. Happy Hour Talk, but it's now Happy Hour Lounge. Happy Hour Lounge. So we're going to just have a cocktail. Come on now. And we're going to just have some happy talks tomorrow. We're excited. Real excited. That show is at 5 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time, 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And you know what we're going to talk about? We're going to simply focus on in a relationship, responsibility and rewards in a relationship. That's what we're going to talk about. Responsibility and rewards in a relationship. again, I love you, each and every one of you all from my heart. And I know Lisa feel the same way because she's always, when I do it, she'll throw it up when I have her live and I can see her. We're going to get back to being able to see her as well.
We'll have me on next time.
Yes, we'll have her on. So I'm saying it for both of us. I'm saying it for both of us. We just love you all from our heart. We're loving you. And as Lisa said earlier, just don't say the word I love you. Be about loving people. First of all, know what love means, know what love is, and know what love does. Hashtag responsible. Hashtag we got this. Hashtag make it do what it do.
Hashtag we got this.
And we're going to say hashtag one life matter. Have an awesome rest of the evening. God has been so good, and I want to thank each and every one. I want to thank the host with the most, Lisa Levine, out of the great state of Ohio, but now she's in a beautiful sunny, even though I know the hurricanes are coming, because I was down there. They'll be until December. Hurricane season is going on now. And but I want to say to you, Lisa, take care of yourself, be blessed, and thank you so much for being here with us tonight. And we look forward to being back in a couple weeks because we want to get back on track, which we're on track now. In a couple weeks, we'll be back. And we will just make, there you go, we're going to make it do what it do. We're going to make it do what it do. Have an awesome rest of the evening, Lisa. I'm going to tell you again, I love you from my heart, truly from my heart. And I want to say to each and every one of you all as we leave out of here, I just want you to know that, see, God has been so good. Sometimes we have our challenges and we don't feel like going on. The next sound you hear, that song, we don't own the rights to it, but we want to say to you that you need to feel like going on, no matter what you're going through. And that's what it's all about. Have an awesome rest of the evening. We'll see you tomorrow at 5 o'clock. Happy Hour Lounge. Have a cocktail, and we're going to have some happy talk. I want to say to you, thank you so much. And I love you, and ain't a thing you can do about it. Have a great night.
It's a pleasure to present to you Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. I am happy to join with you today in what will go down in history as the greatest demonstration for freedom in the history of our nation.
Have a great rest of the night. The dream still live. I feel like going on. Dr. Lorenzo D. Smith, be blessed, be safe.
Signed the Emancipation Proclamation.
Come on now.
This momentous decree came as a great beacon light of hope to millions of Negro slaves who had been seared in the flames of withering injustice.
You got to feel like going on.
It came as a joyous daybreak to end the long night of their captivity.
Be blessed, be safe. We'll see you tomorrow.
Open a check account in 2 minutes.
Go.